What small habit, if done every day over the course of a year, can lead to the biggest personal improvement gain? Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. I wish you a pleasant viewing experience. Story 1. Wise words from my mates. Grandma, don't put it down. Put it away. So much of the mess around my apartment was down to me leaving things out instead of taking the extra minute to put them away in their correct place. I'm not perfect, but it has helped. Story 2. I just read about a couple of studies where they had subjects do expressive writing about traumatic experiences. This is writing about their deepest feelings about these things, rather than the objective facts of what happened. And I recall one group only did this for 15 minutes of the day, and they found a boosted immunity and people taking more positive action. One group was a bunch of people laid off without warning, and over half found jobs pretty quickly, where only around 20 of the control group did. Story 3. Dishes. Do your goddamn dishes every day, and you won't feel fudge up every 2 weeks with a pile of them. Story 4. For us heavier people, quit drinking soda and walk half an hour a day. Watch what happens. Man, I feel hypocritical just typing that. Answer. To add on to that, be more mindful of what you're eating. Since October, I've been paying more attention to what I eat and how much I eat, on top of drinking plenty of water and hitting the gym regularly. I've dropped around 7-8 lbs since I started. It's not a ton, but improvement is improvement. And I honestly feel so much better knowing that I'm capable of losing weight. The bulk of the weight loss is because I've been a bit more careful of what I eat and drink. The exercise has really just helped tell my body, pills don't use muscles for energy, they're trying hard. The fat's fine to burn. Story 5. Not every day, but I've started making a habit of putting $100 a month into my retirement account. Even though I'm pretty young and don't make much, at least I'm saving something. Answer, well done. And I'd suggest keep increasing that amount. The more you can contribute when you're young really pays off later. If you can live a frugal lifestyle and pour as much into savings as possible, you can seriously target retirement or not need to work in your 30s or 40s. Suggest reading Mr. Money Mustache and the Our Financial Independence sub. Story 6. Live by the rule, if something takes 2 minutes or less to accomplish, just do it. You'll notice how many things are really not that bad, but also how much accomplishing things is just a mental block. Story 7. Try not to do anything in bed but sleep. Don't read, watch TV, browse Reddit, etc. You'll start sleeping better. Story 8. Plan the next day before going to bed at night and write a to-do list. The next day before repeating the process, review your to-do list. Sounds really simple, but it's a real procrastination buster. Answer, this. I'm a serial procrastinator, habitually late, and easily crippled by indecision. But a while ago when my ex and I broke up, through things that had nothing to do with any of those things, I decided to hit the gym, as people do after breakups, and felt like going in the morning made the most sense. So before I got to bed, I checked the weather for the next day, review my calendar on what I'm doing the next day, and I pre-pack my gym bag with work clothes and lay out my gym clothes, as well as whatever lunch or breakfast I've pre-made, and go to bed. Then when I wake up the next morning, I get up and don't stop moving. Get up, make coffee, don't even turn the fudge TV on or open FB or Reddit, shotgun a protein bar, toss on gym clothes and grab my gym bag, and I'm out the door walking to the subway. I really wake up while stretching at the gym, and by the time the coffee and pre-workout kicks in, I'm eliminated. Hit the shower, walk another 2 blocks to work, and instead of walking in the door at 8-10 a.m. half asleep, I fudge kick the door to my office in at 7:50 a.m. with my brain firing on all cylinders and ready to kick, jerk, and take names. I'm in better shape and far more productive than I've ever been, so long as I plan before going to bed. Change my life. Story 9. Keep your house clean. If you do it every day, it won't be a big task, and a clean environment reduces stress. Edit. Also, start eating high-fat, low-carb whey. Here is a great keto cookbook. To begin with. Answer. I've been awful with this, and always too embarrassed to have company over. Going 2 weeks now, unload dishwasher before breakfast, load dirty dishes instantly through day, start load and wipe down kitchen right before bed. My kitchen stays so clean. First thing when I get home, rotate between doing a load of laundry or vacuum, whether it's needed or not. I have 2 clutter laundry baskets, one for everything that goes downstairs and one for everything that goes upstairs. Pick up all the clutter around house at end of day, and then just carry the baskets around, putting stuff away really fast. Saturday until noon is spent cleaning bathrooms and at least once a month chores like windows, dusting, mopping, etc. Then all weekend is carefree in a clean house. It's definitely made a huge difference in my well-being. Story 10. Changing your posture. At first it will hurt, then it will still keep hurting. Please help it still hurts. Story 11. For me, that would be learn 3 words in Spanish every day. Started this a month ago, and I am getting better. Story 12. Writing a diary. There are different ways to write a diary. You can write down every story which you experienced during the day. Another option is to write a diary like a checklist, i.e., you have captions like 30 minutes of walking, 30 minutes of logical exercise, 30 minutes of reading the newspaper. If you walked for 30 minutes, you can fill in the checkbox for a given day. By doing so, you will always reflect your day and optimize your daily routine. Story 13. Stop drinking sugary drinks. It's a small change, really. Just replace your Coke with water. Man, the weight loss was more than expected. Story 14. Walk your dog. Stop just letting it go outside and come back in. 2 walks a day, morning and night. The exercise is great for people just starting to get into the groove. Your dog will love it and you for spending more time with it. They'll also enjoy the fresh air and new smells. Plus, you've picked up a great health habit for 2 or more individuals. Being your boyfriend, girlfriend, and/or kids. You'll gain new appreciations for wildlife too. Get yourself some comfortable cross-training shoes too. I recommend Serpentine Skechers. Story 15. Exercise, mate. Never stop. If you are fat now and have been for 20 years, don't expect to see result for at least 3 or 6 minutes depending on what you do and how you eat. But if you keep at it, 5 years down, you can either still be fat or slim health and full of energy. Answer. Or just eat less. Takes way less effort. You don't even have to count calories or do any of that fancy shoot. Just cut what you are normally eating by 1/3 or 1/2 and kick some of the most pointless calories like soda. Edit. I'm not saying exercise isn't helpful, just that it's hard to do if you're fat. I carried around some 40 extra kilos when I was fat. That is an exercise by itself. You'd love to see how those gym rats would perform after a day spent with 40 kilos on their backs. It is exhausting. I was not fat because I had willpower and dedication. I was fat because I was lazy, demotivated fudge. So in my case, it was best to keep it as simple and easy as possible. What can be more simple than eating 2 slices of pizza instead of 4? Also, walking is nice. Story 16. Try to get rejected once a day. Not for anything in particular or even particularly important. You'll succeed less than you think. Advice from an old professor. He was a photographer and would try to get rejected, getting into all kinds of cool places. He got into a lot of cool places. Edit. For everyone asking about my t-shirt, today it's a tan element shirt with a graphic bamboo design backdrop. Stole it from my brother at some point. It's kind of ugly and ripped up, so I wear it to work. Thanks for your interest. Answer. Yeah. I actually done this in my university days. Me and a mate would play 2-minute challenge when we went out. In 2 minutes, you need to find someone and make out with them. If you got rejected, you were paying for drinks for the rest of the night. At first, I disliked it and just conceded without trying. But then one time I was like, fudge it, succeeded way more than I thought I would. And it also wiped out my fear of rejection, which was my main reason back then for not trying with girls and many other things. Stupid, but it worked. Gave my confidence a great boost. Simplified. The game goes like this. 2 minutes to find a girl, make conversation, then ask if she is interested in making out with you. If the answer is no, you pay for drinks for the remainder of the night, not intimacy assault a woman. The fact I'm having to defend myself here is stupid, LMAO. Story 17. Write in a journal. It is cliche, but it works. I used to do it, but when I felt like my life was on track, I just stopped. It led to me falling into a lot of bad habits and being able to convince myself I was fine. Drinking, smoking, video games. I fell into a mindless state that led to serious dissociation and memory issues. But keeping a journal has a way of keeping you honest with yourself. You aren't writing for anyone else. You aren't trying to present your best self. You can just work through your thoughts honestly and openly. You can reflect in a way that you otherwise wouldn't. You can just let it all out without worrying what that exposure and vulnerability will mean. It really helps. I'd recommend this to everyone, especially people with anxiety. Story 18. Be kind to someone less fortunate than you without an expectation of anything in return. Big or small, helping others is the most therapeutic and rewarding thing I do in life. Keeps me in check with humility and reality. Story 19. Learning a language. Use a tool like Duolingo, free and has a mobile app, And just do 15 minutes or so every day when you wake up before bed. I think if you stick with it and try to do at least one new lesson each day, you could easily finish an entire language course in a year. I'm on day 563 of my streak and have finished one course and am maybe 25 through another. The other day I was reading someone's book over their shoulder on a tube journey, and it wasn't until I was halfway through a page that I realized I had been reading Italian. It was super satisfying and made me feel especially proud of the progress I've made since day one. Story 20. Following the words of fictional character Dwight Schrute, whenever I'm about to do something I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. Craving a cigarette? Ask yourself the question. Want to ditch class and stay at home? Ask the question. Procrastinating? Ask the question. Worrying about things you can't control? Ask the question. Self-sabotaging? Ask the question. If an idiot would do that thing, don't do that thing. Edit. To the people commenting, idiots also breathe, so should I stop breathing? An idiot would take Reddit advice literally. An idiot would try to apply the said advice to their life without questioning the applicability of it or the rationale behind it. Also, an idiot would point out how they think that some types of advice are inapplicable to certain situations because they themselves are incapable of keeping in mind that not everything is to be taken literally. An idiot would then post on Reddit about how a quote from a TV show is giving the message that people should cease all activities that idiots engage in, including breathing. An idiot would fail to comprehend that the meaning behind the TV quote is, if a thing is objectively idiotic to do, don't do it. An idiot would misunderstand the meaning of the quote as, if the thing you want to do is something an idiot also would do, regardless of how necessary it is. Do not under any circumstances do that thing even if not doing that thing could eliminate you. Because you have to separate yourself from idiots by having absolutely no common activities with them. Story 21. Daily reading. Books are the most powerful medium for broadening your knowledge and changing how you think. Even fiction books can make you wiser than before, especially through active reading. Answer: I just started reading the Harry Potter series to my kids as their bedtime story. Partly because I just want to, read them for myself. It's a big jump from The Cat in the Hat and Amelia Bedelia, and I can feel my brain doing more work, especially coming up with questions to keep the kids engaged as we go along. I love it. Update: we read chapter 4 last night, and the girls stayed in their beds to listen. Next up, Diagon Alley, Story 22. Each day follow a different recipe from a cookbook or online. Plan your meals weekly and shop for the right ingredients in one shop. After a year, you will be an amazing home cook. Story 23. Eat wholesome, nutritious food. Our bodies require premium gasoline, yet too many of us fill our body with lower quality fuel. A lot of the day-to-day problems we have as people can be reversed with healthy eating. Mood, memory, anxiety, you name it. Better fuel means a better you. Story 24. I've seen many good small things, but I'm going to toss out an elaboration, incremental improvement, and a baseline task. The baseline task is something you have to do every day. Sick as a dog? Get it done. Groggy waking up? Too bad. Slept late and will be late for work? I do it as soon as you get home. This can be anything. Making your bed, searching your room for clutter for 5 to 10 minutes, doing 30 minutes of yoga before work, etc. All it has to be is some small task, preferably at the start of the day, that gets you up, thinking a little, and moving around. Set 1 alarm clock. 2 for safety. Setting 10 only hurts you. I chose to do the yoga, and it pays dividends. I'm up earlier than I would be otherwise, and more alert. I have the time to make breakfast afterward. I can spend the first 30 minutes at work alertly setting up the day instead of docking around while I wake up. If I happen to miss that day's real exercise, and to be clear, I definitely saw some weight loss strength gain from the yoga after 6 weeks, I don't feel like it's a total bust. From there, pick something else. Brush your teeth twice every day. Then pick up flossing. Then pick up using mouthwash. Maybe invest in a tongue brush. Make your bed. Go for a jog. Spend 30 minutes reading. Add one of these things every week or two, not all at once. Make one a habit, then build on it. Some days you'll be busy or tired, or you'll want to binge watch Netflix instead while eating Doritos, and that's fine. Being a robot is a bad thing. You'll find that on those days, maybe you missed your jog, you ate out dinner instead of cooking, and you played video games instead of reading, but you still made your bed, still did yoga, and still took care of your oral hygiene. Good job. What I'd recommend that I'm sure you can find throughout the thread to add one thing every 2 weeks. 1. Do yoga for 30 minutes right when you wake up. every single day. 2. Make your bed. As fancy as you want, I straighten the sheet and place my pillow properly. 3. Brush your teeth if you aren't already. At night, then in the morning. 4. Floss at night. 5. Use mouthwash, enamel safe. Anti-cavity whitening is best after breakfast and before bed. 6. Go for a 30-minute to 1-hour bike ride every other day or a swim. I recommend these as they're non-impact cardio sports. Get into running once you have the diligence and cardiovascular endurance. 7. Pick up some kind of 30-minute to 1-hour lifting routine to do 2 to 3 times a week. I recommend starting strength or the Reddit recommended routine. 8. Find a 10-minute chore to do every day. You can watch Netflix while you do it. Vacuum the floor, get your clothes in the bin, wash those 3 dishes, etc. Imagine where you'll be in 6 months. You'll have good hygiene, be more flexible, be in great shape. You'll have a clean living space, and God knows what else you've done. Ain't a lot, doctor. Pick one good thing to do every day. Always do it. Pick another good thing to add next week. Repeat for 3 months, then hold on to them. Don't get discouraged. Edit. I've gotten a few people asking for links. The recommended routine can be found here. There's also an app called Bodyweight Fitness that has a green-white hand as its thumbnail that also contains starter stretching and molding mobility. I don't do those currently, but I have in the past and they're wonderful. Yoga with Adrienne is life-changing. I recommend any of the yoga camps or the current yoga revolution for any and all new yoga practitioners. Edit Kuni Yuhapidiyati made a very good point about the importance of not over-cleaning in a comment that's worth reading. Story 25. My dad recognized in me that I often avoided social gathering situations. He sat me down one day and said, "You can't always do what you're comfortable with. When you only do what you're comfortable with, you always end up in the same place. There's no room for progress." Fast forward 15 years. I have a job that relies heavily on networking and social functions. Don't get me wrong, I still dislike going to functions, and I still have to give myself a pep talk before I go to them. But I go, and every time I do, I think about my dad and that moment he showed me the way. This can be applied to daily activities. Do one thing per day that is out of your comfort zone. Talk to a stranger, within reason. Try a new activity, visit a new area, etc. It broadens your horizons. Story 26. I see you guys naming exercising, and I swear it's true. Being active is the best thing that could happen to you. This and learning how to eat right. Story 27. Find something to laugh and smile at every day. It makes even a bad day better and improves your mood. Story 28. Can be anything but practice a craft or hobby every single freaking day. Can be playing an instrument, can be painting and so on. But spend time on it every day and who knows where it can lead you. Story 29. Do 1 push-up, 1 squat, and 1 burpee. Increase by 1 rep every day. You're going to feel that shoot in no time. Edit 1. This is a burpee. Edit 2. I'm very glad indeed that my top comment is now not a foul joke involving pedophilia. Edit 3. I'm reading the comments and am literally crying with laughter. Trust a bunch of nerds to turn a discussion about push-ups into a discussion about maths. I mean, really guys, this is why none of you have girlfriends. Just kidding everyone. Please don't downvote me. Edit 4. It is absolutely possible to do infinity push-ups, and I have video proof. Answer. I sort of did this with running. In mid-September, I couldn't do more than 2 minutes on a treadmill, completely exhausted. Next day, I tried to go 3 minutes, the next day 4, and so on, at least 12 minutes more every time I ran, 5 days a week. Last night, 4 miles. I'm running in my first race ever on Thanksgiving morning, and if it's relevant, I'm an elder redditor, 60 years old in March. Story 30. How small are we talking? Read 30 minutes every day, and that's 3.5 hours a week, enough to finish a book every 2-4 weeks. Depending on what you choose to read, that's 24 books completed. Story 31. I have a sweet snack before shopping for groceries. That way my sweet tooth is sated. I buy less sugary food, and am closing in on 100 doorworms lost and no longer need meds to control my type 2 diabetes. Story 32. Practice from a cursive chart found online until you reach typing-like speeds. Then integrate as many of the techniques and forms as you can into your printed handwriting. You don't need to know cursive these days, but you're not learning cursive. Well, you are, obviously, but it's not the end goal. You're learning how to write quickly and fluidly, where and how to place extra lines for aesthetic reasons when needed, and where to start and end your strokes. If you're tired of your handwriting looking like a 6-year-old's, which it has ever since you learned a combination of imitating Times New Roman and scrawling down your best impression of what your first grade teacher showed you? Learn cursive. You may never use cursive again, but your printed handwriting will become Christmas card worthy in 223x as fast. Answer. This actually makes me really sad for some reason. I guess it makes me feel old. I've heard years ago that they were no longer teaching penmanship in schools, and I thought it was silly. But now hearing you help other people learn how to write is in a way heartbreaking. It took no time at all to learn in school, and most schools, with the exception of Catholic school, didn't grade you on your ability. It was taught just because. And I remember feeling like I learned a secret language when I could finally read cursive. It's weird to hear about a drastic change and then hang around long enough to see the effects of it. Story 33. Cleanse, tone, and moisturize. I never wear makeup or used to use any skincare product, and I would break out moderately all the time. My skin is very sensitive to everything and always gets itchy and irritated, so I always stayed away from anything. Then I decided to look on Reddit and found Avene, and slowly applied it more and more. Then I got into a routine and my skin is now 10x better. It's not flawless, but so much better and not as many breakouts. It makes a big difference. Story 34. How you treat your body for 20-30 minutes a day will dramatically affect your life for a very long time. Work out with weights 3 to 4 times a week. Do different areas of your body each day. Do single reps. Move on to another exercise for that area and then another different area. Do this for 3 to 4 reps per cycle. Today, this is called high-intensity interval training, HIIT. I joined the military in '68. I was a skinny wimp, just over 6 and 148 pounds. I learned to work out every morning, except for some lazy spans, one for over 2 years. I get up at 5 to 6 a.m. and work out, either here at the house or at the gym. I'm 6'2", in shrinking, and 195 lbs. This morning, and most mornings, my blood pressure is a quench 279, pulse 76. My last blood test panel of over 25 tests all came back within the required ranges. And no, I'm not a health nut. I ate really bad food as a kid. When I was in my 20s, Mickey D's was my staple diet. Still go to fast food about once per week, so exercise moderately but exercise. Story 35. Meal prepping. I make my meals for the week in advance on Sunday. It saves money since you make less impulsive food purchases during the week. Plus, it's easier for me to make healthy food choices since I've plotted it out for the week in advance. I dislike wasting food, so if I have lunch made, I'm not tempted by pizza. Plus, I weight my food since I'm dieting, and it's so much easier to weight and log my food in advance rather than lug a food scale around or have to guess at quantities during the day. Also, I really like cooking, but lack the energy during the week, so I get my cooking fix out of the way on Sundays. And all week, don't worry about it. Plus, even though there are a lot of dishes on Sunday, during the week, all I need to do is rinse out my food containers. If it seems intimidating, just start by making your lunches for the week in advance and work up from there. Story 36. Chew your food. Digestion begins in the mouth with saliva. The more it breaks down before it goes in your stomach, the faster it will be processed. Should say if you chew too much, you can make your jaw swore, but you would know if you're overdoing it. That and cut drinks with lots of sugar in it are easy everyday ways to lose weight. Story 37. Drink water and not soda. Sure, an occasional soda is okay, but if you drink it habitually, switch to water. You'll feel better, lose weight, and save money. Story 38. Meditate 5 minutes a day, then work yourself up to 20 minutes a day. It is the biggest change I have made in my life. It is incredible how crazy and out of control our minds are. And as the old saying goes, if you don't have 20 minutes to sit, you should sit for an hour. Story 39. Drinking more water throughout the day. Staying hydrated can do a lot for not only your health, but also your attitude. Story 40. I do push-ups during loading screens and waiting for players in video games. Also set rules per game, like 10 push-ups for every passing, or every round, or whatever. Dark Souls 2 got me fucking jacked. Story 41. Running. Get a good pair of running shoes and take off. You would be surprised how easy it is to run a 5K after a few weeks. Story 42. Call your congressman every day to discuss net neutrality. That's the only answer to anything on Reddit today. Story 43. Yes, I started doing the dishes as I cook. After you're done a meal, there's only 1 or 2 pot spans to clean, and you can give them a quick wipe down before you sit down. That and not leaving dishes or garbage on the table. Just grab it all as you get up. Easiest way to keep a house clean. Now, if only my girlfriend could follow. Story 44. Thank you, not sorry. I used to, and still do, have a problem with over-apologizing in basically every situation, even when a serious apology isn't needed. When you get into this kind of habit, it may seem reactive to just apologize for everything you do to try to please other people. It can affect your confidence and also degrade the way other people view you. You become the person who's sorry for everything, and that's sad. So I've tried to consciously use thank you, not sorry, to change that. Every time I get into a situation or catch myself about to say I'm sorry for something that really doesn't warrant a heartfelt apology, I look for a reason to say thank you instead. Running late for work? Say thanks for your patience instead of sorry I'm late. Not only does this keep you from looking like a sad sack for apologizing all the time, it actually shifts focus onto the person you're apologizing to. It turns into a positive rather than a negative. You're complimenting them even, letting them know that you value a trait, their patience, and that it's important to you that they were generous with that trait. I wish I had more better examples, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Story 45. Instead of taking away something from your diet, add something healthy each month. In January, add an apple a day. In February, add a handful of plain almonds each day. In March, add 1 extra glass of water, and so on. You won't feel deprived, and you will increase your healthy habits painlessly. Story 46. Not sure if this is a small habit, but I started intermittent fasting this year, and I only eat between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. I generally eat whatever I want, but I make sure that I get a salad, lean protein, and half a gallon of water first. Also, a big fan of chili. I have lost 25 pounds over 2017 and didn't even feel like I was dieting at all. I wasn't fat before, just kind of chunky, but now I wear 32 jeans comfortably and can see my top 4 abs almost. Answer. For about 6 months, I'd have breakfast at home, 11s at work, lunch at work, snack at second break, and then be starving for dinner after work. If I missed any of these, I felt miserably hungry, like I would be sick if I didn't eat. I found that I needed to cut back on my spending in the lunchroom, so I started doing keto and just dealing with the hungry. Now, I rarely have anything before 4 p.m. during the work week, and I feel better, less hungry, more able to focus on my work. I haven't lost any significant weight, maybe 5 pounds in the last 2 months, but it sure made a difference in how I feel. That breakfast is the most important meal line is crap. It's a marketing phrase, not medical advice. Story 47. Skipping. Unlike other suggestions which require quite a bit of time, you can get away with a decent 10-minute skipping session, or longer if you have the time. Ideally, I'd say 15-20 minutes. Do this daily. By the end of the year, you'll be like, what? In a good way, of course. Skipping works multiple parts of the body and has huge benefits towards your fitness and well-being. Story 48. Take a moment to ask people how they're doing today. It helps build new relationships in unexpected places. Story 49. Drinking a glass of water before bed and right after waking up helps nails, skin, hair look better. Story 50. Record your calories. Even if you do nothing else, you will begin to understand your eating habits, and being conscious of them will change how you approach eating. Story 51. If you drive somewhere, park as far away from the door as you can, within reason. An example would be the far back of a car park at your local grocery store. The time spent walking to and from your car adds up if you're not usually the kind to exercise. Story 52. I'm a messy person, always have been. Not a hoarder, but I definitely clutter stuff up. I try to spend 10 minutes every day just cleaning something up, and that goes a long way towards not being embarrassed to have people over. Story 53. Walk. Find something cool or useful that's about a mile away and go there every day. Should take you 20 minutes each way. Story 54. My New Year's resolution was to work out for an hour every day. Almost there. Haven't missed a day this year. 301 lbs to 200.3 lbs. Story 55. Making your bed. It's the best thing to come home to edit. Everyone's saying, you'll get mites, it's pointless. Why make your bed if it gets messy anyway? I just love the feeling of coming home, and it feels almost like someone else made my bed. Like I have a servant, except the servant was sleepy me that doesn't remember making their bed. It looks nice, makes me happy. I feel good. Story 56. Exercise at home. Just do 8 to 12 push-ups one day, 8 to 12 jumping jacks or thrusts the next day, 8 to 12 arm exercise of your choice, 8 to 12 torso exercise of your choice. Have rest days in between. These are things that take around 15 seconds every couple of days. It takes longer to load a video game or microwave food. Note, a lot of people who are into exercise lifting working out will tell you that this is nothing and thus not worth it. But you are in fact doing more than nothing. You are doing something. And while you may not be super buff after a few years, you will maintain a better body than many of your peers. Source: I've been doing this for around 30 years, and at 45, I still have a flat stomach. And when I do things like help people move, I'm not as busted as my friend. Story 57. Push-ups. Start small, do 100 every day in however many sets you need, and work your way up. Eventually, you will see your body become leaner, stronger, and you'll feel great. I started a few months ago. I only could do 20 push-ups per set, but now I can do 50 at a time and a max of 300 per day. You feel awesome, and it really helps build confidence and wards off depression. Also, get a decent sleep every night. Depression will creep up on you if you don't take care of yourself. Trust me, I've been there. Story 58. Sometime during your day, you can find $1 to save. Maybe one week you can save 10. Next, you realize that bag of cereal on the bottom shelf will save you 4 that day. Always take what you save and throw it in a savings account. I started this. Then when I reached 3,500, I bought a Vanguard mutual fund. 3,500 was min. I know it sounds tough, ESP, if you are making very little, but you can save something each day. Story 59. I listen to at least one full music album a day. My library has grown vastly, and I feel so much more connected to many genres I never thought I would like. Story 60. Not mine, but I saw somewhere about making your bed every day. For one, it's the first task that you'd complete besides hitting the snooze, and it'll make you more productive for the rest of your day. If your day turns out to be a bad one, then at least you come back to a made bed. Story 61. Stretch your brain's ability to focus without distraction. Most people can only go 15 to 30 minutes at first, but you can get this up to several hours by the end of a year. Story 62. Sit on the edge of your bed after waking up and truly ask yourself, as if you were someone that you cared about deeply, what could I do today that would make me better at the end of the day than I was at the start? Some advice from Jordan Peterson. Story 63. Go for a walk 3 times a week. It's very good for you, even if you don't or can't do any sport. Walking just by a normal pace, if a slightly faster, even better, is the best. It's a sustainable habit because it doesn't take much time. You don't get dog-tired. I'm obese, and I've been walking regularly since August. It feels really good. I plan my routes carefully in my neighborhood. I rarely go the exact same route. My regular distance is around 3 kilometers, 1.5 miles, which isn't much. But for me who drives to work and doesn't do anything totally enough for one time, I live in the suburbs, and there are a lot of streets in the vicinity I've never been to because I don't have anything to do there otherwise. I measure my time and then calculate my average speed. Sometimes it's like competing against the ghost driver, like in racing games. When I accomplish a little bit longer tour or walk at a slightly faster pace than average, it gives me a strong and real sense of pride and accomplishment, in contrast to stupid video games made by money-hungry companies. I keep a diary and a chart from every route, and even looking at it makes me feel proud about myself because I hadn't walked this distance for years before I started doing this. In the beginning, my regular shoes made my feet hurt while doing this. But instead of giving up, I bought some special shoes with a soft sole. And it is really interesting, watching the neighborhood and the nature. When I began, it was late summer with very hot days. Then I watched the leaves getting yellow and red, and now winter is almost there. Not drinking sugary soda and keeping a slightly stricter diet, with occasional crimes, makes my weight slowly but steadily decrease. For example, today I walked 3,022 km with an average speed of 442 km/h. For a healthy person, nothing. For me, a decent challenge, a sustainable habit which will make me healthier in a longer time. Story 64. My habit is always using my blinker when merging a lane or doing a turn. The habit makes it easy to not forget, and I even use my blinker when I'm on the only one on the road. Story 65. If your job offers direct deposit, set it up for 3 accounts. 60 to your checking account with your main bank, 30 to a savings account in a different bank, 10 to your savings account with your main bank. You will live off 60 of your paycheck, which will force you to be cost-effective with everything you do. The 10 that goes to your savings will be your emergency bill fund. In the case that you need a little more than 60, you can dig into that savings account and use it to cover your extra costs. Don't depend on it. Remember, it's supposed to be for when you really need it. The 30 has to be deposited to a secondary bank, preferably a credit union, as they will allow you to have a free savings account with no strings attached. Also, having the deposit be made to a separate account helps psychologically remember out of sight, out of mind. I have done this for a few years. I now have 37,000 in a savings account with my secondary bank. I started by putting away 10, then increasing it little by little until I got to 30 into my permanent savings. I avoid it like the plague. I don't think about it. I don't go online to look at it. I pretend it doesn't exist. I know there's that amount because of the monthly statements that they send. Doing this has truly been an experience for me. Before I would spend money just because I had it on my account, I felt like I needed to spend it. Now, a day's living off 60 of my paycheck to cover for 2 people is hard. It's forced me to become a better spender and overall smarter with my money. Remember, out of sight, out of mind. Story 66. Fool thing. They say it's not been 100 proven that it works. I feel good, though, getting that gunk out between my teeth, and my dentist says it's a massive improvement. Barely takes out plaque anymore because there isn't any. Apparently, there is a link between it being better for your cardiovascular system, gums vein stuff getting into your veins, something along those lines. It's nice to be disciplined about it. I do it every single day. Story 67. Listen to one of the tracks from Language Transfer each day for just about 10 minutes, and you'll soon be able to say a surprising amount in a new language. The complete courses are about 120 tracks, so it'd take just 4 months to complete a language. So you could potentially manage a basic grasp of 3 languages in a year. Story 68. Yoga. I started doing just 5 minutes every morning, thinking there's absolutely no excuse I can spare 5 minutes. It's a game changer. Story 69. Late to this particular party, but here goes. Waking up an hour or 2 before everyone in the house. I began doing this when my youngest was an infant. I found that I can exercise, shower, make my bed, unload the dishwasher, and if I have a few minutes to spare, throw in a load of laundry before anyone wakes up. Now that the children are older and attend full-time school, once they're on the bus, I complete my errands or clean the house for a few hours every day and still have some time to sit and read for an hour in the afternoon or meet my friends for a quick chat before the children come home and homework dinner prep begins. Doing this has helped me in so many ways. I'm fit, all my chores are done efficiently, my house is clean, and I know I won't die of embarrassment if a friend or neighbor pops over unannounced, and my mental well-being is better overall. Edit words. Story 70. Learn to sit quietly, silently, for 5 minutes a day at first. A thought comes up, you see it come up, and instead of picking that thought up and using it to think up other thoughts, you just put it back down and stay quiet. The easiest way to stay quiet in your mind is to begin listening to your breath. If you are working at listening, then it is very difficult to be talking to even to yourself in your mind. You get 2 profound life skills from this. 1, the foundation of all mental discipline, and 2, the ability to be quiet and listen. Story 71. Waiting 3 extra seconds before responding. Taking that extra few seconds to control your tone, phrase things tactfully, and be sure the other person is finished talking. Story 72. As a kid helping my mom cook, I learned that cleaning while you cook is the greatest feat. Every time I serve a meal, I already have all the dishes done, and am so thankful for this ability to multitask. There's always time when you're waiting for water to boil or oil to heat up. It's the best to finish eating and just have your plates to wash. Story 73. If you are trying to lose weight, cut out soda. All soda, even diet. Drink water instead. My doctor told me to do this, and within a week I was already starting to lose weight. To go along with this, cut out fast food. Answer, or even better, cut out sugar. So many foods have added sugar, and it leads to so much added weight. I did this a few years ago when I wanted to finally feel good and look good. And honestly, my abs magically appeared after 1 month of completely avoiding sugar. By sugar, I mean foods with added sugar. Cookies, soda, pasta sauce. For me, this was hard. Fruits don't count because the sugar in them is processed differently because it's combined in the fiber. Story 74. Meditation, without a single fudged doubt. Ask anyone who's done it or go look at the scientific research. Meditation will change the way you look at the world, yourself, and the people around you. It will make you a more open, empathetic, calm, and happy human being. Start today. Get the Headspace app or read a book like The Mind Illuminated. Meditation is the answer for the question OP is asking. Answer, you don't even need to read a book. Start simple. Find a quiet spot and take some deep breaths. Focus on your breathing. If you notice that your mind is wandering, thinking about work or relationships or chores or stress, just bring it back to focusing on breathing. 10 minutes a day of doing this will help you sleep better, be more alert, more calm, etc. Story 75. Don't make goals. Make systems. Every day you wake up and you are not at your goal. Feels like failure every day until you reach your goal. Instead, set up a habit that contributes towards your goal that you can do every day. Every day you do it, you are successful. Winning every day. E.g., don't set a goal to read a book. Set a goal to read just 15 minutes of it every day. Even if you end up doing more, you win that day. Eventually, you finish it and achieve your goal. Story 76. If you're white, wear sunscreen or moisturizer with SPF. Sun damage is one of the biggest causes of wrinkles, which is why non-white people tend to age more gracefully. Their increased melanin protects their skin better. Edit: everyone should wear sunscreen regardless of race. Skin cancer can affect everyone. Sorry, I'm a white person who should have done my research before posting this. Story 77. I am prone to depression and laying around all day. Getting up, making my bed, opening the blinds, and washing my face are my go-to steps to success. Story 78. Running or biking. It's my stress reliever and changes up my day instantly. It's hard at first, but it gets easier. Story 79. Pick up an instrument. I'm coming up on my 1-year mark of playing guitar, and I can't tell you how much joy it's brought me. Story 80. I've got 2. Don't know if it will apply to everyone. 1. Create something. Write a story or poem or take a photo or a small drawing. It's just a small thing. Doesn't have to be major. When you're feeling down, this one task you've got to focus on to make sure it's as perfect as can be helps put things in perspective, especially if you're one of those people who can't take a step back or clear your mind. Helped me to get through a tough time in my past, helps me appreciate things and come up with new ideas now. 2. Find a quiet corner of the world. Choose some music that suits your current mood. You don't have to be calm. You could be angry, raging, and pissed, and just listen to a few songs. If you're calm, it helps you relax even more. If you're angry, channel your rage into the music you're listening to, and it helps calm you down, or it does for me. Basically, immersing yourself as much as possible into your music and fully experiencing it and treating it like an extension of your emotions. Both of these are geared towards finding some peace or clarity or a way to vent, but they really do help a ton. In the long run, you'll find yourself far more stable emotionally. Not professional advice, speaking from experience. Story 81. Make your bed and you will see how quickly your entire room becomes clean out of habit. It's easy to have a messy room when your bed isn't made. Make your bed and your room will follow by being cleaner instinctively. Story 82. Buy a Big Mac and save one ingredient from it every day. By the end of the week, you have a free Big Mac. Story 83. Consuming only the calories that are appropriate for your needs, not the calories you feel like eating. Story 84. I improved my life as a huge procrastinator by making myself answer the question, why not now, in regards to putting things off. Story 85. I don't know if this goes here, but I'll say it anyways. I have severe depression among other things, and I was in a point in life where I couldn't even wake up to do anything, not even a shower. Eventually, I rescued this doggie that was in the verge of dying under a bridge. In that moment, I made a plan that I would take care of my dog and improve her life massively. Little I know that both improved massively. You see, I started to focus my care for her, which helped me forget or distract so much that I started doing things again. Eventually, I was even able to go out of the house a couple of minutes a day because I was trying to train her to her business outside. She also helped me directly herself eventually. She started notifying me to wake up and take her out or just to play and have fun so I wouldn't stay at bed. Notify my mom when something was wrong or I was crying. She would come next to me or sit in my lap so I could pet her and not be sad anymore. I improved so much, I even started getting motivated and started having a routine to keep me going. It's kind of like when people exercise. I started to have a reason to do things. Nowadays, I was in the airport the other day. I was randomly selected, and the TSA lady was being rude to me. She said that I need to give her my dog so somebody else would stay with. Meanwhile, I was getting searched. My dog immediately turned around and sat by my side with a stern face and wouldn't move. So I told the lady that she had to search me with her by my side because she wasn't going to go anywhere, and that if they tried to get close and touch her, she was going to fight back. But anywho, I guess the whole idea here was for me to get distracted long enough and do positive things for me to get better in life and start to do things that I enjoy again. Story 86. How has no one mentioned stretching yet? I'm in moderate shape and trying to get back in the gym regularly, but I've been stretching every day for the last few months. It's amazing how much better my back feels. Your future older self will thank you. Story 87. Try to accomplish one of the following each day. Learn something new or do an old thing better. But set the bar pretty low. It doesn't matter too much what the thing you learn or improve on is as long as you're consciously doing it. For example, it's totally fine to just take a slightly different route to work or to make a grilled cheese sandwich just a little bit crispier. The important thing is small expansions and improvements. Over the course of a year, the small improvements will start stacking up and leading to all sorts of things. Taking new ways to work might lead to a faster, more scenic route or finding new restaurants. Small improvements to your cooking build up until you're becoming a capable chef with a new hobby and extra saved money. It turns out that while life goes by pretty quickly, there's actually quite a lot of time. We waste so much of it on routine, leisure, and life goals that we miss all the small opportunities for growth. Story 88. I'm trying to cut back on the time I spend on social media because it amazes me how many 10 to 15-minute periods I sit there and get nothing done. I've been carrying around books with me to read instead. Story 89. Do one simple activity each day with your non-dominant hand. Eat your brush teeth, eat lunch. It's good for your cognition. Story 90. Every day is always two words when you mean each day or daily. Every day is an adjective that means mundane. Read every day. It will help you a lot in the long run. Story 91. I used to always say sorry. People would get mad at me for doing it so often. If someone was in my way, I would apologize to them. If I was asking a friend for a favor, I would apologize. Anything and everything was something I was sorry for. I started saying what I meant instead. I'm allowed to need to walk through a space, and I don't need to be sorry for it. So excuse me, when I want to ask a friend a favor, I don't need to be sorry for it. There was a complete mental shift. I became more confident, outgoing, and stopped taking shoot from everyone. Stop apologizing and start saying what you actually mean. Story 92. Exercise and eat more veggies. If you do that every day, in a year's time, you'll look and feel like a new person. Story 93. Try to practice piano for at least 15 minutes a day. This won't seem like much, but it adds up over time. You'll feel different in the best and most simple way. Story 94. If you're trying to lose weight, tracking your calories and weight in MyFitnessPal app. At the end of the day, you obviously got to consume a certain amount of calories to lose weight, but just tracking it makes you accountable and so much more aware of the calories you consume. When you see this, you start thinking twice about the food you consume. So I made a promise to myself to track no matter what, even on bad days, and it's definitely changed my mindset with food I consume. Being unaware and not thinking about what you're putting in your body is what makes you have weight problems. Just tracking everything brings so much more to your awareness, it makes the weight loss journey much more manageable. To progress, you gotta find a way to measure your growth somehow. If you can't measure it, and it's just in your head, it's easy to think you are doing better instead of knowing you are doing better. Story 95. Waking up early and working out early. Many people complain they don't have enough time to work out, but the reality is that they don't have the discipline to work out after a stressful 80-HR workday, so exercise falls by the wayside. Story 96. Save 20, 10, or even 5 a week. Put it away where you don't regularly see it or have access to, preferably into an account that generates interest. That shoot adds up, especially if you forget about it for a year. Story 97. Stand next to a wall and straighten your back for 3 minutes a day. It does wonders for your posture. Story 98. Take 3 minutes to gather your clothes for the next day before going to bed, instead of spending 10 minutes looking for clothes half asleep the next morning. Story 99. 10 push-ups every day in a month, then the next month try to do a bit more, like 15 every day. If you do that every day and every month for a year, the results will leave you mind blown. Story 100. I think I'm pretty late to the party, but here's my submission anyways. If you're struggling with your weight, then just start logging everything you eat in the app. Any app. Story 101. 100 push-ups every day. Great core strength improvement. Great self-confidence boost. Free gratifying results. As someone who has struggled with depression, I can't tell you how motivating it is to actually push yourself off the ground 100 times a day. Story 102. On cleaning up after yourself. Bonus if you make fine 10, 15 minutes through the day for small organizing projects. 2. Eating healthily. 3. Exercise. For those last 2, taking an extra 30, 60 a mind to get those done could save your life, or at least increase your lifespan. Story 103. Take care of yourself. Yes, you do basic care like brushing your teeth or wiping your booty, but do something a little extra. Go smell those flowers across the road. Go paint your toes sparkly green. Put that extra slice of ham on your sandwich. When I do something nice for myself, no matter how small, I like myself a little bit more each day. That's big, especially when you have crippling depression. Story 104. Building an identity you are content with. Define your happiness. Express what you like and what you don't like with high energy and positive intent. Put yourself as number one, but share the same compassion to others. It's not all about being someone that caters to everybody's validation and respect. It's about being humanly genuine and true to yourself that some people will find you inspiring among their own insecurities. Story 105. Meal prepping. And it doesn't have to be done every day. Just once a week. Invest in some nice glass Tupperware. Is still inexpensive, so go big. Prep on Saturdays or Sundays for the following week. Having pre-made lunches every day is awesome. You'll likely end up eating much healthier. You'll save time, and you'll save a buttload of money. Story 106. Self-reflection. If you're not honest with yourself, then you never get better. Most people have very little self-awareness. Story 107. Touch typing. It's easily the single most important skill I learned in high school, and definitely won't take a year, so you can just jerk it the rest of the time to celebrate your success. Story 108. Clean as you go. Don't let things pile up. Put a dish in the dishwasher when you're done using it. Wipe out the bathroom sink every morning. Pick up after yourself. Saves so much time and hassle. Story 109. Push-ups, squats, sit-ups? Not even a lot, really. Can only do 3 push-ups? Okay, then do them. Then another set of 3 or 2 if you can only do 2. Repeat daily. Soon you'll be able to do 3 sets of 3, then 3 sets of 5, then 3 sets of 8, then 3 sets of 10. You're not going to get buff doing push-ups, squats, and sit-ups, but it's going to give you a decent core and prevent some injuries in your life. Story 110. Start saying that you can't afford it when prompted to buy something. You'll be amazed at how much you can save. Story 111. Spend some time every day assessing and meeting your dog's needs. A dog with unmet needs is frustrated, stressed, anxious, angry, and/or depressed. Dogs were bred to do work, not just being snuggled and walked. Learn about types of jobs dogs can do. Sometimes you have to get creative. Don't fight nature, work with it. A dog with its needs met barks less, has better house manners, is more keen on listening to its owner, and seems to feel safer, more confident in the world. Story 112. Pull-ups. Get a pull-up bar. After I make my coffee, I bust out at least 10 pull-ups and head to work. Oh yeah, also start making your own coffee at home. Saves you a ton of money. Story 113. Never engage in online arguing, political or otherwise, because it attracts negative energy and it's a time waster. You wake up to notifications of people hating on you, which can set the tone of your day. Story 114. If everyone here just donates as much as they can to my PayPal every day, I will probably experience a ton of personal gain. Story 115. Stretch properly every morning. I wish someone had told me about it when I was younger. Takes 10 mens, makes a lot of aches, pains go away. Couldn't recommend it enough. Story 116. I know having after-work time is important, but getting enough sleep changes so much. Especially someone with a mental health issue. There is a night and day difference between a well-slept me and a YouTube binge till 1 a.m. me. Story 117. Laying out clothes the night before. I was late to school all the time, BC. It'd take me 15 to 20 minutes to pick out an outfit that I thought looked good. Doing that the night before is a huge morning time saver. Story 118. My best advice, keep a journal. Just 5 minutes in the morning on what you want to accomplish, and another 5 minutes at night to reflect on your day. You will notice a lot of improvements to your life. Story 119. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 10K run, no air conditioner. You will lose all your hair, but you will be able to defeat anything with one punch. Story 120. When you self-care, edge a little more each day before ejaculating. After a little while, you'll be able to shoot loads across the room. Story 121. Take time every day whenever you can, i.e. morning, afternoon, evening, to have at least 30 minutes of alone quiet time. Having that time to reflect, read, enjoy your coffee, not just drink it because you need it, can lead to such an improvement on your mental, emotional health. Story 122. Push-ups every morning, not many. One day do maybe 5 or 10. Next day only do 1, but really focus on form. I've been doing it for a few years, and I don't have mad guns or anything. It's just nice to have some upper body strength. Story 123. Take 1,000 IU vitamin D supplements. Unless you are living in a really sunny region of the world, chances are you are deficient at least during winter. This was a game changer for me. The light depression I was carrying around was gone within a week. Story 124. Breathing exercises. Just inhale, keep it for 3 seconds, and exhale. Keep exhaling for 3 seconds and repeat. The greatest gain out of this exercise might not be jacked up muscles, but it is the patience to calm down and relax your mind. Story 125. Dismantle the sugar jar at home. Stop buying syrups and juices, water whole fruits. More home-cooked, less microwaved instant foods. Story 126. Taking a multivitamin, getting 30 minutes of exercise, drinking a couple extra glasses of water, stretching for 5 minutes. Story 127. Physical activity, exercise. You feel great, look better, and that discipline almost always carries over into other aspects of your life. 1010 would recommend. Story 128. I play keyboard and draw sometimes. Over a long period of practicing, I can now play two-handed, and I'm somewhat decent at drawing anime. It's just backing the practice makes perfect idea. Like, it's not physical as in fitness, but it's nice to have options instead of being limited by your skill set. Story 129. Lift weights. You don't even need to do it every night. Just do it Monday through Friday. Plan it out and target a different muscle group each day. Have a good routine plan for each group each day. Do it 30 minutes when you get home from work. Eat a healthy dinner with a lean protein afterwards. This alone will make you so much more powerful in the course of 1 year, you will be amazed. Story 130. Meditation. Since I started about 1 year ago, every aspect of my life has improved. Career, relationships, fitness, intimacy, money. Story 131. Whenever you get the urge to think, pray about something, have a wank instead. At the end of it, you will be more relaxed and have done just as much good for the cause. Story 132. Exercise. Fit in a 20 to 30 minute workout 3 to 4 times a week. It won't be long before you start to notice some sweet results. As an example, I have a 20-watt cinder block 4 at a Lowe's or Home Depot, and a door frame pull-up bar, which unfortunately I can't use at the moment. I two-handed curl the cinder block and then raise it straight above my head. Do that as much as you can. Then I use the cinder block as a counterweight to do sit-ups. Then I do crunches. Then I do leg raises, then push-ups, then lunges. This whole thing takes maybe 15 to 20 minutes. I've been doing it 3 to 5 times a week for, 9 months. Results are that I have some sweet arms going on. I've lost almost 30 pounds, and for the first time in my life, I have 2 visible abs. My goal is to have 6 visible abs, because why the fudge not? If you want to do even better, incorporate some running now and again. I'm not there yet, but I think that is going to happen as soon as I get the courage to do so. It's a pretty good feeling to be able to look in the mirror and not be completely ashamed. Story 133. Organization. A place for everything and everything in its place. I took a course on time management once. It turned into a course about organization. Once you have a place for everything and put it there immediately, a lot of life just falls into place and you pick up so much time. You would not believe how much time is partied too hard cleaning things up because they are haphazardly discarded and looking for lost items. Story 134. 20 push-ups when you wake up and replace 1 sugary drink a day with water. Literally completely changed my life. Story 135. Push-ups, even 10 a day, can boost your strength and endurance. You can lose weight and feel better about yourself. Story 136. Sit-ups every time you are free for even a few minutes. Gets you a chiseled 6-pack if you're a guy and will get rid of your podgy belly if you're a girl. And if you do it even 30 times throughout the day, you'll not even feel like you're working out. Alternatives include press-ups, push-ups, squats, or something similar. Story 137. Being organized at home as well as work. After eating, clean the plate and utensils used, then put them away. After showering, always put dirty clothes in a hamper instead of leaving them on the floor and hang your towels. Dedicate a day for laundry and cleaning your house vehicle. Small things like that will improve your time management, coordination, and generally build good habits for all of your daily interactions. It sounds simple, but there's a lot of us out there that take the convenient, easy route. Story 138. This helped me get over 90 of my insecurities. If you're feeling low and insecure, look into the mirror and don't look away until you can name 3 things that you like about yourself today. Be it something small, like your eyes to how that shirt looks hella good on you. Story 139. Exercise. Just drop down and do some push-ups or sit-ups or anything. As a fat guy trying to get into shape, I can confirm that doing a few sets of push-ups or whatever each day and cutting out unhealthy stuff like soda before this year I used to drink Coke like it was water, has led to real improvement. From when I started working out around March to right now, I've lost 50 pounds. And I'm keeping at it. And once you get into that habit, where it hurts more not doing it than actually doing it, do an extra of whatever it is you're doing. Just one. And the next day, do another extra. And eventually, well, it might take a little longer than 2 minutes, but by that time you won't care. Because you're doing something you never thought you could do. And there's no feeling quite like doing what was once impossible. Story 140. Eat at the dining table. No phones, no TV, just talk to your family. Mentally undressing your better half adds a fun element. Story 141. A day spent without learning something is a day of your life partied too hard. Try to learn something every day. Story 142. Towels shall not touch my face. If you have complexion problems, don't ever use those bath towels or washcloths on your face. The lint and dust trapping terry cloth will never release dirt until you grind it into your pores while either washing or drying with the towel. Just let your face air dry when you get out of the shower. Lightly dab your eyes if you need to. It completely cured adult acne for me within a couple of weeks. It will at least improve your condition, and it costs absolutely nothing. Story 143. I'm hoping it is brushing my teeth after giving up taking care of myself for years. Need to start somewhere. Story 144. Pack you lunch every day. You eat so much healthier when you deny yourself the option when you're actually hungry. Not to mention you save a ton of money not eating out every day. That and exercising 30 minutes every day. Doesn't matter what you do, just so long as you make the effort to exercise every day. Story 145. Use your non-dominant hand for everyday things like brushing your teeth and combing your hair. You'll be surprised how much dexterity it builds. Story 146. Replace snacks with water. Whenever you feel pointlessly hungry, like you've eaten or it's nowhere near mealtime, or maybe it's just gone past mealtime, just have a glass of water. It will most times satisfy your hunger, and it has 0 calories. Really good habit to keep. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. If you'd like to see more content like this, you might be interested to know that I've created another channel with a similar theme, especially for those of you who enjoy what I do. I'll leave a link in the description, and I hope to see you there. Take care.